In this lesson, we're going to show you how to bring Bootstrap into your web projects. So going over to the website getbootstrap.com, you can go down and you can select download. And basically, if you download it, you've got a number of different options for downloading Bootstrap. So the quickest way to get Bootstrap, and all you really need with Bootstrap, is the compiled CSS as well as the JavaScript, which is actually jQuery. And if you're actually not using any of the JavaScript functionality, you don't actually need that within your project. But because we are going to be using some of the JavaScript jQuery functionality that Bootstrap has to offer, we are going to be adding it into our project. So this is the quickest way to get Bootstrap, and basically you download it, you get two folders, CSS folder and a JS folder. The CSS folder will contain a bunch of Bootstrap files. So we've got the minified versions and the regular versions. And those of you that are unfamiliar with what minified means, is basically they've removed out the white space. So basically it loads faster. And another folder that you get is a JavaScript folder. So you also get the two files in there. So you've got the Bootstrap and you've got the minified. So the same idea here as the CSS, that the minified version, that's basically the one that you can't read. You can also compile Bootstrap with your own asset pipeline by downloading the source as Sass, and then you can configure and compile it the way that, with the colors and so on, that you need. Now, we're not going to be showing you that because this is a more advanced option within this lesson, but this option is here as well for Bootstrap. So if you want to go this route, then you can really customize your Bootstrap within this type of format as well. So you can download the source here, and then you could work with that. And then there is another option, and that's using the CDN. So the CDN is Content Delivery Network, and basically they've got some links out here to the Content Delivery Network. And basically what that means is that Bootstrap, you're connecting to a CSS file and a JS file that's online, hosted on a content delivery network. And there are some benefits to that, that if you're going to use it and other sites, if your users have already cached it within their browser, it's going to allow you to load it quicker. And also with the JavaScript, the Bootstrap JavaScript, you also need to include Popper JS and jQuery JS. And because the Bootstrap JS is based off of the jQuery library, that's why you need to include those as well. And then Popper also gives you some added functionality within Bootstrap jQuery. So there are also package managers. So this is another way to get Bootstrap. And this is a really quick and easy way to get Bootstrap, where you could use your npm package and install it simply that way. So going into your command line, you could simply write that if you have npm installed already. So there are some pre-requirements to doing it this way as well. And there's a number of other alternatives in order to bring Bootstrap into your project. So they've got a lot of ways to bring Bootstrap. But as mentioned, we are going to be doing the simplest way, and that's using the CDNs. So simply linking out to those files and adding them into our project. So the next step is to add them into our project. And there's another really great thing with Bootstrap, is that they have this quick start guide here, and the quick start has the CDNs, the links to the CDNs, and it comes with a starter template. And this is perfect for having a starting point for your Bootstrap files. So what I want you to do now, go over to getbootstrap.com, docs 4.0, getting started introduction, and you could go ahead and grab this template off the website, because then we can use this to bring in all the different components and utilities that Bootstrap has to offer. So I'm going to do the same, and I'm going to simply copy this out, go into my editor, and I'm going to paste it in. I'm going to make some changes where I'm going to get rid of some of this commenting here, and I'm also going to add in a title. So Bootstrap for course. So there you go. So we've got a title there, and you'll notice that as well we're linking out, so there's integrity, cross-origin. So sometimes you do have issues when you're linking cross-origin files. So those are just some of the attributes that are included in there to help that process along. And then it's got a simple heading tag there. So I usually get rid of those. And then I also keep all of the JavaScript and jQuery as needed. One thing to note, this is a slim minified jQuery version. So if you are bringing jQuery anyway into your project, then it's advised to just use the regular jQuery file and you can get rid of the slim version. And make sure that you're presenting the order of the files, because this Bootstrap JavaScript file is going to be dependent on the two previous files. So it is dependent on jQuery, and it's also dependent on Popper.js. So you do need to have both of these before you load your Bootstrap. And then lastly, about setup, so if you are adding your own styles, you can either link out to it, link out to your style sheet, or add styles with a style tag afterwards. Again, make sure that the order is correct, that you're adding it after you add in your Bootstrap CSS so that you get the order proper, and also with JavaScript. So this gives you the ability to make some updates and also interact from the JavaScript version here to interact with some of the Bootstrap components that are using JavaScript in order to add some functionality. So that gives you the ability to add and interact with them, and that's why the order is important. So go ahead and set up your default template, and always, it's always a great idea just to make sure that everything is running properly. So I'm going to use a simple Bootstrap class, and I'm just going to use the h1 class, and I'm going to do hello world. And close that up, go out into our folder, refresh it, and we see that we have h1 formatted hello world, so we know that Bootstrap is working and hooked into our project. And that's how Bootstrap works, that we have a number of classes, so predefined classes within Bootstrap, and also some of these classes will require attributes for some of the jQuery functionality, and we're going to see those later on in the lessons as well. So we bring in the classes to apply the styling into our web projects. So coming up, we're going to look at the Bootstrap grid, and that's a way to structure and position your content within your web page. So go ahead and set up a default Bootstrap file and try it out, and make sure that you're hooked up and you're ready to go with Bootstrap, as the next lesson we jump in to showing you some of the Bootstrap classes and how to structure your web page. And that's coming up.